All right. Did you catch it? Did you see it? That is what I'm working with right now. And did you also catch it and did you see it with this week's video talking about the Apple Bank? Yeah. So that's what I've been working on during my downtime. Call it a passion project, but now it's also a passion project that I can incorporate. Yeah, that's the animation I'm toying with right now, and the music. It's not technically music. It is a theme sound, like a stinger. That's my what I was calling for other people a signature sound. That's like my thing I'm working with right now. It's meant to be universal. But yeah, look, episode 5. Welcome back to Tech is Art, and now you got to see my art that was made on tech. Tech, mind you, that was at least visually, all right, the logo, the animations, and all that was 100% done on the iPad Pro. This iPad Pro right here, 2018 iPad Pro, didn't even complain. It didn't slow down. It worked smoothly, flawlessly to the limits of what I'm capable of animating, which is not much, as you saw. But that was done on the iPad. So going back to, all that iPad hate I was being accused of, it's not hate. Constructive criticism. The iPad can do so much more. But, the operating system kind of sucks. Snazzy Labs put out a video talking about the iPad, and he says things so much more fluid and easier to digest than I can, which is why he makes the big bucks and I don't yet, because I'm still finding my footing in this whole tech space. I'm talking in circles here, excuse me, sorry, that felt like one what's it called, run-on sentence. I like pacing myself, so let's pause. Let's take a breather. Let's pace ourselves, and let's regroup. We are 5 episodes in. Okay, had I wait 6 if we include, I'll include the test pilot podcast. We are 6 episodes in of what could have been wasted material because I was waiting to pull the trigger, because I wanted to get my animations and my sound and my flow right, which it's not. We're still not done. It's refinement. And we still got a long way to go. So technically, maybe had I still been waiting, none of this would exist. And now I'm like, I don't even know how many videos deep. I'll be honest, I don't know. But we are videos deep. And I feel good. Not only that, this week I got completely caught up with all my backlogs of making the YouTube shorts and the audio podcasts of all of this. So I feel good. Now we're really chugging along. If this was a manual transmission car that had 6 gears, we were in gear 1 and I have shifted to gear 2. So we're picking up speed here, which is good. But anyway, okay. So lesson of why I even bring all this up from the offset here, because people message me. They'll leave comments or DM me and tell me about how they want to do something, and they're too timid to pull that trigger. Look, pull the trigger. Trust me, guys. Trust me on this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Episode 1's not supposed. No first anything is perfect. Okay, not the first episode or season of Breaking Bad, not episode 4, which is technically the first episode of Star Wars. Okay, name anything that is that's a series or an ongoing saga. Name it. And think about the earlier episodes of it. Not perfect. It's not supposed to be. Pull the trigger. Because now we can refine. Much like launching an iPhone, right? This is the product. I'm trying to get the camera. If you're watching on YouTube, there you go. I want you to see the camera rings right there. Boom. This is iPhone 15, and God knows that's not how many generations. It's more than 15 generations, but this is refinement after refinement. It's been refined, and the earlier stages of everything are the most drastic changes, right? So I didn't even have a logo. Then I did the logo, but it was monochromed. I think is the word. There was no color. I've updated my logo now, the profile photo of this, to reflect the green of my branding here, right? So everything's getting refined, and I'm just gonna keep pushing out. I'm not gonna wait for some arbitrary date. Not a year into this, not the 1,000 subscribers, whatever it may be. I'm just, when it's ready, I'm launching it. That's how this all works. And now we got music, or excuse me, it's not music. I am working on music though. I'm still not done. But now we got sounds to go with the logo, animations to go with the logo, and I'm gonna keep working on the animations. I am not an animator. Clearly, I am not an animator, but it's authentic. It's genuine. It's me. I still animated that, and it went with the sound. I have an idea I want to do with the sound, but I want to pull something up first. Give me a second here. The three letters that take the shape of this logo is right now being filled with these three notes that I played, and that's fine. That's good. But I also want like a sound to go with the animation of it too. So I'm going to talk you through that. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm going to share my screen and you can see what I see. If you are listening to this only, whether it's on YouTube or on an audio app of your choice, I'm going to narrate what's happening. All right. So I'm going to show you. show you guys something. I got something. Because I had refried beans earlier, and one of the bean shell skin was in the back of my molar. Ugh. I've tried even hard not to drink water tonight, so you didn't have to deal with this. And I still am picking at my teeth. Come on, Randy, get it together. Okay, anyway, I'm going to share my screen here. Give me 1 second. I'm going away. So I want to describe, if you're not watching this, on my desktop I have 5 files here. Something I couldn't do, by the way, if I was on iPad OS, but all the same. I have the theme sound, as I titled it, or I labeled it as theme sound, which you heard, and it sounds like this. That's meant to sound like the more full version of everything. And what you haven't seen, I'll show you for the first time here, you get to hear it here first, is I have a simple version of it where it's just the chords and nothing else. That's it. Maybe I'll use that as an outro. I don't know. I'm playing with it. And as you were watching, really, if you saw my videos this week, this is the animation, and I had to export it as a PNG, so it's transparent animation. And that's it. And so it's moving a lot choppier in the preview here. Again, something you can't do on iPad. You can't hit the space bar. But I noticed it was a lot smoother in my Apple Bank video this week. We're going to talk about Apple Bank, by the way, so we're getting there. I like to use these podcasts as a way to fill you in about what's going on behind the scenes with me. And yeah, that's it. So I'm showing you some stuff. I'm peeking behind the curtain here. And then here's my updated logo. And it is a PNG, so it is a perfect circle. And this is it. But, sometimes, or actually everything else that uses a square, not a circle. The background is also white now, so it kind of complements the white-green pattern I have going on here. And, I did this, and it's called BG test music for background test music. This was literally a test, but I was having so much fun with it. I just dropped it in my video for this week and it worked. I love that. That's so nice, right? Anyway. Ooh, I can hear my baby crying. I bet it's getting picked up on the mic. Let me see. Hang on. Yeah, a little bit. Anyway, if you guys are familiar with my music, you know that this is me. Like, this is totally me. I had a lot of fun doing this. Anyway, so I did it. This is not the music, by the way, that I'm working on for like to be like an actual like intro or anything like that. It is just something I was playing with, knowing that I wanted to refresh some background music for the videos, and I wanted something simple but like melodic, and I came up with that, and that was cool. That was really cool. So there you go. There's that. What else? I'm looking at my desktop here. I haven't even did the simple theme sound one, and you guys got to hear it. That was cool. But hey, look, everything, like literally everything is subject to change, and I'm still working on it. I'm refining it, and when it's to a point that I like it, I will launch it, and we'll adjust and go from there. So that's what's been going on behind the scenes here at the TRN Studios headquarters. What do we call any of this? Literally, I don't know. It's all man-made, right? Like, it's a man-made construct. None of it really matters. So if I choose to call this the $1 million studio, $10 million whatever, then that's what it is. But then CoffeeZilla might do a hit piece on me, and I just don't want to do that. So there you go. Okay. Let me think here. I'm thinking. I'm filming this at night, so there's a good chance this is going to go live at the time of this posting. Actually, I know for sure that's what's going to happen. At the time of this posting, I had recorded this yesterday or last night. So, I'm trying to get ahead of some stuff here because I have a very busy schedule. And my schedule, though busy and productive and fulfilling, mind you, not just like, don't take it as me like complaining, oh, there's not enough hours in the day. I'm having so much fun right now. This is beautiful weather time out here in Colorado, and my family is loving it. My son is loving it, and every chance I get while the weather's nice, we're outside, we're doing something, and that's by design. That's intentional. So I did that today, and thus now I'm recording tonight. And then I got as far as I'm aware, this will be awkward if it doesn't go through, but as far as I'm aware, tomorrow or today of this recording of this posting, I am recording some Taylosive podcasts as well. So I'm trying to get ahead of my schedules here, which is always a fun challenge, but I'm staying productive. And while I'm doing all of this, I'm also you can see my keyboard is lit up here. With the pads over there and the little buttons and everything like that. I am still very much actively working on my album. So that is just, life is good right now. Life is really good. I'm not posting my shorts same day as my main video, mainly because I've noticed the trend of where my videos will peak of like how there's an up curve that happens, and then it kind of starts to plateau. So I'm going to ride the wave of letting it do this write up. Like today's video, I posted or today as recording this, I did a video this week for an Apple Bank. And it's so early right now in the recording of this podcast episode. And when I posted that, I don't know what the stats are, but I do know that I need to let it breathe for like about maybe 12 to 24 hours. And then I will post the 1 minute short of that video everywhere. So that seems to be my strategy right now. And I like it. It works for me. So I found a flow that's working pretty quickly about getting the videos up on YouTube and then getting them up on podcasts. So I don't think I will experience another backlog like I did before. I'm fairly confident in that. I found a quicker, logistical maneuver about going around that. So nice. Okay. 15 minutes in, and all I did was give you guys backstories on stuff. I hope you like this, more conversational piece. It's feels like I'm being more transparent with you guys, and I get to connect with you. And the comments are still rolling in like every day, and I like to engage with literally everyone, even people I disagree with. People I disagree with are I put the ball back in their court on their side if they choose to engage with me on their criticism, because I'll respond to them, not out of feeding trolls. I don't think I've got I don't think, maybe I did, but then I kind of just get passive. I don't know how I handle trolls. I don't know, at least not on this channel. But most people who give me criticism, I always try to give everyone the benefit of that like you're coming from an honest point of your stance. And if somebody who really writes a lot, you're giving me like, broken down substance here, I will take you seriously that you have a disagreement with me, and then I'll hear you out. We all just want to be heard. Just because I'm doing this in a video or audio format and someone chooses to write in through a comment doesn't make your method of communication with me less valid just because I'm doing the video. I understand my role in this, and I also understand that I have the gear to do this, and I probably have the technicality to be able to communicate audibly, very sometimes concisely, or sometimes I ramble, but somewhere in there I know that I get my point out, and that's my form of communication. People are more articulate in their writing. So, just because you write to me and I make a video, my platform of doing it doesn't make me more, I don't know, anything. I'm not better. This is my initial topic conversation starter, and I do take, I want it to be a conversation. This week I had a guy, actually this was not even going to be part of the video today, but I'm going to pull something up really quickly. I meant to post this on, Twitter and community tabs, but I ended up just not. But here's a guy who, wait. Oh, there it is. He, on Saturday, okay, he had a very aggressive critique with me about my iPad video. And I'm looking at, I don't normally edit in what am I trying to say? I don't edit the podcast. This is it. So I'm going to see if I can do this. We're doing it live. Give me a second. Okay. I don't know if you can see that, but there's 20, let me see if I can zoom it better. 20 replies total that this guy was giving me. Yeah, look at that. There's 20 replies to this critique, this criticism of me. And, or at least what started kind of like as me. And he was, not that he was being hostile, but he said some things, I said some things. But if you read it, 20 replies. At the end of it, we found common ground, and he then subscribed to my channel. He wasn't even a subscriber, but he subscribed. And he even told me, he's like, hey, I just subscribed. And at least his profile is a public profile in the sense that I got notified that he subscribed, so I know he's telling the truth. So he was at polar opposite odds with me about iPadOS, and we were, friction was happening, fighting of the stances. We never really conceded our either side. We just made our points heard, and I let him know that I hear him. And in turn, he started softening up on me. And then he started, not that he was conceding, but he was understanding my point of view. And I told him I understood his point of view. And it wasn't even agree to disagree. At the end of it, we have the same conclusion about what we wanted to see. He just, he had a different approach to it than mine. And that's fine. And at the end of it, I got a subscriber, and he was like pretty chill. He's a music producer, and he was telling me plugins to try out, things that I would happily use, mind you, for my own productions that looked like interesting. There are third party plugins that I would have to buy for Mac for Logic, and like we found common ground on music and what we wish to see from iPad OS, and there you go. That was engaging, right? I won't always have that opportunity to do that. I'm aware of that. As God willing, this channel grows and it gets more engagement. I will inevitably, I won't be able to respond to everybody within an appropriate amount of time. So while I can, I hope to always send the message that, like, I'm not right for the stance of just, I'm the author of the publication of this video, is that this is my stance when it comes to things that might be controversial, and that's fine. And then I engage, and that guy was an example of like, oh, it had a good outcome. Other people just, basically told me to go kick rocks, and I said okay, and then that was that, But that's the part of the engagement, and so that whole thing inspired me, even though this happened afterwards. But this is why, like, I'm now highlighting comments. I'll do like a comment of the day type of a thing when I see a good enough comment worth highlighting, because this is a community. Again, nexus. The nexus is a connecting link between one or more ideas, meaning your idea might be different from mine, but I'm sure we can find common ground if we're coming at this in good faith. We can find common ground. And so even someone who might disagree with me has the potential of being a highlighted comment of the day. And then I'm very big in like promoting and supporting the community of everything. So yeah, there's that. There's all that. I went from 15 minutes to 22 minutes now. So let's talk about Apple Pink. Anyway, I'm not going to apologize for the first 20 whatever minutes. This is how I get to talk freely with you guys that don't have to do with a topic. And you guys who are listening to the podcast or watching the podcast, I think understand by now, right? But I do have a topic I want to talk about today. And that has to do with Apple Bank. So I posted the video. I have no idea how it's going to perform. It might bomb because it's not newsworthy the same way, a new Apple CEO is, or, defending tech reviewers for giving bad reviews, or talking about iPad OS after the launch of a new iPad, right? Like all that stuff was like newsworthy. So I get it. But this was important to me. Specifically, doing the Apple Bank is important to me because, as I highlighted in that video, I had drafted that script and made the thumbnail for that video back in January of 2022. And that was when I was putting this type of content on my main channel. And I felt weird. I never pulled the trigger on that literal video, even though I had done a few other finance videos kind of leading up to it, like with investing. I did an NFT one. Like I tested an NFT. I bought an NFT so you wouldn't have to, and we can, talk through it together, right? So I did things like that on the main channel, but it felt so out of place because that is my artist page. That's music, streams, and creative outlets, things like skits and all that stuff like that. It felt weird to put. Well, I've already highlighted. I'm not going to do it again. Just. What those videos should have been TRN videos, and I'm not going to move them over. I mean, they're a product of its time, and it was me testing the waters to see if I could even do something like that, and I could, and I did. But the one I was really excited about covering and I never did was doing an Apple Bank, and that was the first video when I was realizing that like I should do a different channel for this type of stuff, because I realized I had a lot more things to say. And that video coincides with me realizing that I needed to make this channel. So that's why this video is very important to me. I don't really care if the performance of that one does good or not, because I did that one for me. It felt like I've been holding on to that video for 2 years, and now it's done, right? So what I want to cover right now about that video, maybe even elaborate longer than how long is that video? 7, 8 minutes? I don't know. But what I wanted to talk about was like why this is actually important to me, because it's not just me. Really, at the end of the day, that's why it's important, because it's not just me. It was something I was realizing, not just with my friend group, but family, and then random strangers. We all kind of like wanted the same thing, and I ended up not making the video. Even at some point when the savings account came out, I thought, and it came out last year, mind you, I thought, oh, here comes the bank, and I was like, man, I missed my chance of doing that theoretical idea of what an Apple Bank could look like. And then nothing came from the savings account. It was just a savings account, right? Apple Pay Later came later. Ha! I see what I did there. But the idea of having a bank, I know what I didn't say in the video is I know that a lot of people wouldn't like that idea. They don't want to centralize everything to one company. Not in America specifically. We like to fragment our, for lack of better words, our money categories. Who you bank with, I'm pretty confident, is not the same with who you have your insurance through. And unless you have USAA like I do, but I have a banking account with them as a secondary thing. My primary account is a credit union. Navy Federal Credit Union is my bank, and they also have other products that they sell, but like I don't have my insurances through them, though I'm pretty sure they outsource that's the thing, they outsource their insurance to, like, I think at the time it was like Geico or something. But point being is your direct deposit, however you get funds, most likely isn't the same account that you also have a card, whether it's a debit card or a credit card with. Well, the debit card, that's different. You would have a debit card for your account, but like a credit card to either establish a credit score or get points. Those I'm sure are different. And if not that, your insurances definitely would be. And if not that, definitely where you would also, have your what am I trying to say? There's not a single. Here, I'll say it like this. I have a high yield savings account with Apple, and that's where I like to store my cash reserve. But I also have a money market account with my investment account, which I use Fidelity, and that's another thing. Like where you invest money, if you invest money, it's probably not any of that either. So I have a money market account where I also store. Well, currently, I guess that's where my cash reserve is held up, is in my Fidelity account, sitting in a money market account. I don't really know why. It's not even a full % difference between what I'm building with my savings, like what the interest rate is. So I have it there because I thought I was going to buy more stock, or I don't remember the reasoning last year why I did that, but I did do that. I did that last year, and I also have another separate money market account with my credit union. So it's already fragmented right there, just of me, how I'm distributing my cash reserve. CDs, right? My CDs are also distributed from different places. So in one way, it kind of helps you from having like a single point of failure. But this isn't crypto, right? That FTX thing that happened, this stuff is insured, at least to $250,000. It's minimum. You should be insured with that. If you're working with a bank that doesn't have that, get the heck away from there. No. We'll cover finances for another day. So this will be a finance talking point at some point, but that's not what the point I'm trying to make. A part of me would love to consolidate all of that to a single entity. Because Fidelity does offer a credit card, and they also offer a cash management account. So you would get a type of debit card or a cash card, I think. No, I think it's a debit card. You can invest. I don't know if they have insurances. I didn't go that far into it, but they theoretically you could do all that there. Chase is a bank I have, mainly because I have a few credit cards through them, and I also have my very first bank account was throwback, guys, throwback. I'm so old. There was a bank once upon a time called Washington Mutual, WAMU. Man, that bank was literally across the street from the apartment I used to live in. And I went there one day and I opened an account. And as I was underage, I was a minor, but I opened an account because I got a job working at SeaWorld. And that was my very first bank. And now it's a Chase account. So I kind of keep it for nostalgic purposes, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why. But anyway, but Chase has, I think, their own investing platform as well through JP Morgan, something or another. I remember seeing that. God knows I get the invite all the time to join their private client, whatever. And I'm not interested in notoriety like that. People, there was once upon a time, here's the refinement of, here's another backstory of the TRN, like, roots. When I wanted to cover finance, there was a point where I thought I wanted to have like the private banking and the American Express Platinum card, or get the Centurion Black card, or who cares, man? Who cares? I don't care about that stuff. As I gotten older, and I kept buying houses, and then I had a family, started a family, and that's too messy. I don't care about that stuff, especially if you got to pay for it. No, I just want something that works. Just something that works is good enough for me. But, Chase does all that stuff too. USAA does insurances, and they bank with them. And I think they also have their own investing platform. So all that to really say that certain accounts do all this stuff. I think Ally, an online-only bank, I think does this now, I believe. Like investing, and they have credit cards, and they have a high yield. They got all this stuff too. So I like the idea of consolidating everything into one house. And then it made me think. I always have an Apple product on me. An Apple Watch right here. Got my phone. Got my iPad. Got my Mac. I got my whole ecosystem literally right here in front of me. And look, they got into they made the first move. They got into the finance space. And I was like, if there was one place I would like to put all my money at, if it's all insured, all the same, I would trust my money with Apple before I would trust them with anybody else. Mainly because they're the most profitable company in the world. Not even close, bar none. Just Apple. At least in the sense that they're interested in the finance space, right? They have a better track record than, say, someone like, how many horror stories have you heard about Bank of America or Wells Fargo? Like those old banks, the top four, I think they call them: Bank of America, Wells Fargo, was it U.S. Bank, Chase, Citi? What, am I forgetting any? At least in America, those are like your top five, I think. And I have a Chase account out of technicality. I never closed that account, so okay, fine. But I don't trust my money with them. They don't have good, like, I don't know. They don't have a good rapport with me. So, but Apple, on the other hand, does. And it's not because, they really care about your privacy, or, they really it's just strictly from a business sense. They are the most profitable company in the world. Good enough for me. Hey, you managed your money fine. Use mine. Here you go. As long as I get my money back and you give me some type of kickback for taking more of my money, and then we're good. Even though I know technically it's Goldman Sachs and stuff. I get it. But the idea, right, of having everything centralized on the things that you do Anyway, like the stuff that you use every day. You're probably listening to this or watching this on your phone, right? Or your iPad. Let me know. How are you watching this? How are you listening to this? And it's through tech, because I'm not on radio, and I don't have a CD, right? So you are watching this or listening to this through something that is a device. And if you have an iPhone or you have some type of Apple ID, then that's exactly my point. We are connected almost to the hip, for better or for worse, with these devices. So what better way to integrate your finances than having it as seamless as your communication device, your camera, your entertainment media, your, I don't know, everything, right? Like your gaming thing. Like we already centralize everything else to our iPhone, right? It's already in our smartphone. And I technically do most of my finance things through, like with Apple Pay. I do Apple Pay, and I kind of don't like to buy things if they don't do Apple Pay, right? So like it's already here. So take it a step further. And that's where the inception of the bank came from and why I wanted to do the bank. Yeah. And then I went into details about, how great that bank would be. And I'm not going to regurgitate that here today. Not right now. I am going to look though and see that I miss anything about the Apple Bank. You know what I'm going to do? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you future video ideas, because they're going to be sequels to the Apple Bank one. This is like not a series, but they're direct correlated to one another. So I'm going to tell you the next 2 videos that go directly hand in hand with the Apple Bank video I put out this week. One of them has to do with, I have it listed. Sometimes I change my titles. Like for one, I put Apple Bank, and that was it. I knew what that meant. And then I came up with the title later when I was writing the script. This one I have called The Future of Banking is Mobile. There's a video idea. And I'm going to tell you why the future of banking is mobile. Why it is, but just not right now. But it has to correlate with everything I was talking about right now. There's your hint. Everything correlates back to this. So there's that. And hang on. Sorry. I'm actually going to take something back. I'm only going to tell you that one right now. I have a lot of ideas. I'm scrolling right now. I have literal bullets, and then I'll line them out as we go. But what was great about the Apple Bank video is that was my technically first planned Randy Nexus video, where it's all 3. It had to do with tech, it had to do with money, it had to do with design, and that's what the purpose of this channel is. This whole platform is about that. And I had the very first one I wrote when the subcategory is called all 3. So I have things broken down from all tech things, all money things, all art things, and I've covered a lot of tech things. But I've also done some art, like MagSafe or my office tour. That's art. Investing. I talked about government banning TikTok. I talked about non-competes. I have some others. I have things written down, but sometimes there's an overlap of all 3. The Apple Bank was the first one because it was my idea, and I have a few other ones. One that came up out of like not breaking news, but it was in the news that week, and I was very interested in it. Was John Ternus. John Ternus, it affects everything, and why John Ternus, being the next Apple CEO, was in charge of hardware design, and I'm like, heck yes, I love what's happening about that. I can talk about the aesthetics of the iPad or the iPhone all day, and I'm like, oh, John Ternus is responsible for that. Thus, running Apple is a business move, finances. It's in the finance department, and it has to do with tech. So that was my first all 3 overlap one there, but there's a few other ones, and one of them is the future of banking is mobile. So I like the idea of simplicity. That's it. If it's easy for me, then it's like, look, if I get it, I'm no one special. You guys will get it. You'll understand. And then, bada bing, bada boom. Everyone's happy, right? So, partly to get there about simplicity is moving away from the, physical banks and moving towards a more mobile platform. And I know the kickback to that is already going to be depositing money or pulling out money. We have ATMs for that. One, like all over. Two, like ask. This is an honest question. How many of you are actually carrying cash? Don't be the antidote. Don't be the outliner saying, "Well, my job because of, like." I get it. There will be some people, yes, but how many? Think about it. How many people you know is carrying cash on them today? I don't know any. Do I have my wallet here? I don't. I have cash on me. I've had cash on me for about a year now, to be honest with you. So I actually do carry cash for a different reason. For a whole different reason I carry cash, but I do carry cash. I don't see. I feel like the idea of having tangible cash is a bit pointless. It's easier digital. Yeah, but then anybody can come and shut you down and take it away. Dude, like, take the tinfoil hat off for a second. If that was the case, how's that any different? Because you're talking about the U.S. government for my situation, right? Well, U.S. government could just shut you down and you lose all your money. In that scenario, like, my money is no longer good. In that exact same scenario, that's like saying if you had the cash, but then it's like, what's the dollar backed by? It's not gold anymore. If you're gonna say gold, you're wrong. The dollar's not backed by gold anymore. It's backed by a promise. So breaking like, this whole thing is built on a promise when it comes to money. Money's weird, man. I'll be honest with you. Just as a whole, the idea of money is weird. My relationship with money has changed a lot. At the moment I realized that my relationship has changed with money, I realized it was for the better, and I prospered so much more after that. So I don't really care, I guess, is the short version. It doesn't really, like, it's such a far-fetched, you can lose all your money. Hey, well, we can enter World War III, and then what good is any of this afterwards, right? World War III is going to be fought with nukes, and then World War IV is fought with sticks and stones, or whatever Einstein said, right? Anyway, not to get morbid there, but my point being is the future of banking is literally mobile, digital, and what better way to, like, lead that campaign than to have Apple be Apple about it? You know what I mean? Like, if not Apple, then who? Google? Do we trust Google with it? Is Alphabet that trustworthy now? Actually, I said that rhetorically, but I'm trying to be fair here. Yeah, I can see Google. I would work with Google. I mean, Google AdSense is a thing, right? For content creators. So, okay. Who else? What? Who else? Facebook? Yeah. Meta? Please. Who? Microsoft? Yeah. Nah. Amazon. Now, hold on. Amazon. That's something to think about. Who would you trust with your money the most? For me, it's Apple. Maybe it's a PR thing. Maybe the marketing is that good. Maybe it's just my bias because I'm in the ecosystem. But yeah, Apple. I said Google. I could see Google too. Samsung. Well, that's not a U.S. based company, but maybe Samsung. Like, you need a company that's so big that it kind of like breaks the fourth wall. You need a company so big that, like Samsung, besides smartphones, like the home appliances, right? Actually, I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? Home appliances and smartphones. Okay, maybe not Samsung, but Google. Google is out there. So is Apple. Yeah, maybe one of those two. Maybe I'm just biased. I don't know. But anyway, this was where are we at? 45 minutes in. Hey, look at that. I put another 20 minutes into just talking about the banking and Apple Bank and why. Well, I didn't tell you why the future is mobile banking, but it is. Let me see. I'm looking at my notes here. Was there anything I'm missing? I want to ask you guys as I'm looking here. I had time to sit and think about the comments I did for my 1 month launch video. I did a Q&A or an AMA, I should say. And I had time to think about some stuff that some guys had brought up to my attention. One being on the offset of this video today was pull the trigger. Just if you want to create something, just do it. That doesn't get old. But I'm looking at some other notes here, and somebody had asked me about like memberships. Would I do memberships and live streams and things of that nature? And yes, I would. I will be doing live streams soon. I'm almost at the minimum to unlock memberships. I can't just do it right from the offset. You have to have a certain number logged of hours watch time and subscribers. So for subscribers, I need 500 subscribers, and I need 3,000. I think it's 3,000. Let me take a look at that. I don't know, actually. Is it 3,000? Because if it is, then I'm not close. Survey says, become a YouTube partner. Yeah, it's 3,000 hours of watch time, or 3 million if it's on shorts, and 500 subscribers. Man, that sucks. So I'm not going to reach membership anytime soon. But I thought about Patreon, and I think I'm going to launch a Patreon soon, and I'll be my membership equivalent, and then I can have a better way to engage more honestly with the people who want to be part of the memberships and stuff like that. So it's hard. What's really hard? I'll tell you what's hard. I'm not doing this on purpose, but it's just like maybe a creative approach direction. But I don't like telling people to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more notification. That whole thing, I don't like telling people that because it doesn't feel. I don't know what the blockage is there. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. I should say it. I want to say it. Well, no, I don't want to say it, but I should say it because I want to grow quicker. And I think there's a correlation. There's a hand in hand about like, hey guys, trying to get this thing off the ground, and it's no cost to you to help me get there. If you find anything of what I'm saying of value, would you please subscribe and like this video and help boost anything for the algorithm that's ever changing anyway. Maybe that's what it is, because the algorithm's so weird. I don't know what the algorithm is. I don't care what the algorithm is. I just, everything that's gotten me to this point was just out of my pure passion of the things I'm excited about. And I like it that way. Because I don't need to do this. I don't need any of this. I'm self-sufficient. I've made it, so to say. I got all the money I'll ever need in the world, and I got my passive incomes set up, and I also got like a bunch of other little incomes set. Like, I'm good. I don't need this, but I want this. Does that make sense? Like, I want this to work because this is just kind of cool to say. I do this for a living. But I guess you could say that now, even if I'm not getting paid, right? But maybe if I told people more like, hey, I'm trying to get monetized. I'm trying to get to that covenant 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. Would you, if you made it, excuse me, if you made it this far, will you please help me, get to the subscriber count, like subscribe if you're not, or what's the other one? Notification bell, so you know when I'm posting, which I find weird, right? Because like, shouldn't the algorithm already put my content in front of you? It feels weird and forced. Well, okay, maybe not forced. That's not the word. It doesn't flow naturally with the things that I want to talk about. Because I'm not, I don't know. I haven't worked that out in my head, to be honest with you. This is this week's therapy session. I don't know why, but it's not it doesn't flow well. I don't even like bringing it up now, but I realized that I have a long way to go still, which is in one way fine. I've been doing this 5 weeks. Okay. There's a lot of people who've been doing this a lot longer and don't get the numbers I get. So I'm just grateful that people are checking me out, to be honest, straight up. I don't really care, I guess. I don't know. Cause you know what happens? I'll tell you, let's play hypotheticals here. Nothing happens, right? If nothing grows and everything just stays exactly where I'm at right now, I'm still going to be doing this. I'm still going to talk about it because I don't want to wait until I get onto a podcast with my friends and talk about it with them. I will want to say what I want to say, like the Apple Bank, and go in detail with the Apple Bank and why I think it's a good idea. And while that's happening, like just like right now, when I'm not doing all that, I am on this thing right here, the piano. I am playing this thing. I am writing music all the time. I am creating new sounds or capturing new sounds, and I'm articulating it, I'm morphing it and making fun little things that sound like this. Ooh! Yeah. Check it. Oh, you thought I was gonna rap, didn't you? No, I wasn't gonna rap. I'm a good hype man, but I don't rap like that. And if I'm not on that, then I'm on my where is it right there? Guitar. And if I'm not on that, you see that mic? Sometimes I sing on that mic when I'm performing. And when I'm recording studio stuff, it's on this mic right here. This very mic. So I'm just having fun. I'm just grateful any of this exists and I can make this happen. That's a good enough reward for me sometimes. But it'd be really cool if I could, make an income out of this and do more with it and grow it. Buy cooler stuff. Who knows? I don't know. It'd be cool to do it, but that's a problem for a future Randy, I guess. Right now I'm just happy to be here and talking about tech. Specifically talking about all things beautiful in tech. Because tech is art. And we're all connected by it. That is the smoothest outro I have ever done. I'm going to go. I try to keep these under an hour. So I'll see you guys later. And hope you're digging the branding stuff. And we'll see what I cook up with the next week or two with better animations or whatever. And maybe I'll actually have like a theme song, an intro song or something. We'll see. I'm taking my time with it. And when it's ready, you guys will be the first to know about it. I'll see you later. Take care. Have a good week. And yeah. This feels so forced. I'm sorry. Be sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed. Help me get to that 1,000 subscriber count number and like the video or something, because I guess that helps. I don't freaking know. I don't like doing that. Yeah, that ain't me. If it comes up naturally, I'll say it, but forcing it like that, man, that just sucks. But I wanted to try it. I haven't done it in a while. I haven't done it since like video number 2 or 3. So if that, I just wanted to see. It's terrible. So with that, I'm gonna go. Bye guys.